Okay, hi. Okay, so I think I've already said it in one video, but my name is Holly and my work is awakening medicine and becoming a naked guru. Okay, so this is a video sort of specifically for my subscribers. Hi, I'm really excited to talk to you and to be here and to be, doing these videos. This is take two because I was kind of in the middle of doing the first video, and even though it was actually very interesting, I watched it myself. It kind of goes around and about the houses in a very long-winded sort of way. And if you follow my videos for very much longer, you may well learn that about me, that I do have a tendency to kind of go off on a tangent and yet somehow manage to bring it back, I think, at the end to what I was originally talking about. So that's a very long-winded way of saying the reason I'm coming on today is because I was really loving putting my work online. Absolutely very excited about it. I'm not, it's my plan is actually to kind of release it, if you like, on the full moon, which is happening later this week. And so I was really wanting to sort of get the videos on several different platforms, as I'm aware that the big G word own the big UYT, and they have been sort of trying to shut me down and censor me for many years without even kind of showing my face. So literally without telling you my full story, 2019 to 2020, I had opened up, finally, was my dream was to open up and run a detox retreat. I had been running detox retreats for 12 years, but I wanted somewhere more stable, somewhere that we could run from and be open all the time. Up until that point, we were running at luxury venues, and we were only able to run 1 week a month. And it was all great, and it was all wonderful. However, subsequently, as a result of the situation that happened in 2020, my businesses was one of the first to get shut down, and it actually got shut down in 2019 and it wasn't until the pandemic happened that I was aware of what was actually happening to my own business and my own situation, and more kind of universally what was happening generally. Okay. But one of the things that I found out through that whole process was that the big G are actually owned by big pharma, or what I class as big harma. Okay. As you know, I'm a holistic therapist. I've been a holistic therapist for 25 years, and I've been blessed in that time for it to have been my only source of income. Okay. My only job. I've always only ever been self-employed. I have worked for other health clubs and retreats and centres and things like that, of course, but But I've been very blessed to have been able to pursue my dream and to have just created a career and have lived it. There have been times of feast and famine, I won't deny. And so last year I needed to take some time off. I needed to, having had my dream destroyed, if you like. However, I was kind of prepared for that. Anyway, that was fine, honestly. But the reason that I wanted to come on today was actually had nothing to do with any of that, okay? I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background into who I am and what the hell I'm doing here, okay? This is my first YouTube channel. I actually put on videos like this many, many years ago. It was right at the very beginning of me moving into this house. So it was about 13 years ago, before people sort of put on these kinds of videos, instructional videos about health and well-being. And then I needed to focus, and I ended up focusing more with clients in real time, which I absolutely love, and I've absolutely loved working that way. But no one knows more than me, as a result of being a holistic therapist for 25 years, how exciting it is to get 4 new clients, 4 new subscribers in just a couple of weeks. Okay. Now I know that when we're online, we can literally reach, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of people, and that's really exciting. And that's one of the reasons for wanting to come on now, is because as a more mature holistic therapist now, I don't actually have the energy that it takes to really work one-to-one with people, and huge groups at this time, okay? And particularly at this time, because what happened to me, like I was saying at the very end of the videos, we were coming to the end of the stretch phase, and this has happened to me before, where my back just starts to sort of slightly weaken. So just a couple of days before we started strengthening, I started strengthening, and I was really feeling great and feeling much better. And I stated that in one of the videos. Then I actually had 2 very busy days working with a couple of clients. One was a new client, one was an existing client, who also have their own physical limitations. Now, I do just want to very quickly talk about this. You may well be what we call an empath or empathic. And empathic people tend to take on other people's stuff. We've been saying it for years. Oh no, I've just picked up her stuff. I've just picked up your stuff, And, it was during a training once, actually. It was about 10 years ago, one of my final trainings, that I became to realise how sort of slightly arrogant that can be, though there is some truth in it. I'm not denying that, and I make myself unpopular sometimes a lot amongst healers and therapists, because I'm not scared to speak out and to ask questions. And they always say that the best teachers are the students who ask questions, and I've always certainly been one of those. So I was on a course, it was my kinesiology course, and with a group of healers and other therapists, and we had been instructed to only ever speak from the I. So like we do, and I was about to say you do, and one does. We tend to speak when we talk as if we're speaking for everyone. Okay. And so, you know, when you're in therapy and you're working sort of psychodynamically, it's important to recognize that what you're feeling is yours, and that you need to own it, and that each one of us individually needs to own it. However, what I noticed was we had a lot of people speaking from the I, yet about our general sort of thought processes, yet what we were actually feeling in our bodies, we were quite often just blaming on other people. So what we were thinking, we absolutely had to speak from the I, but what we were feeling, what we were actually feeling, physically feeling in our bodies, almost always had to do with somebody else. And it started to stress me out, I have to say. Say, listen, if it's in your body, then you have to own it, okay? Now, I'm not saying that people don't pick up other people's stuff, because they do. But what I came to learn in my own journey of being a therapist for 25 years, and yes, picking up people's stuff, and yes, saying it to them 20 years ago, and them laughing in my face and telling me, don't be ridiculous, you know, how, like, you've got to own your shit, you know. Fair enough. Anyway, I did. Through that process, I really did. And I learned to own everything. But what I've come to understand is that we are very empathic when we are in a weakened state. Okay, so empaths are weakened. And I certainly was. And am actually in this moment. And like I said on the other video, I didn't say it in this video, the nature of the healing journey is that you'll go in peaks and troughs. Okay, and I'm having one of those at the moment, and I haven't had one for many years. Okay, this week in particular, I say I haven't had one for many years. I haven't had one relating to my back for many years. The structure of my body is my biggest lesson, a karmic lesson to learn on this journey, one of. And I have come to develop this program as a result of my disability and the pain that I have experienced in my body, and also the injuries that I've experienced in just following somebody else's practice. Okay, so I very much recommend against doing that, and that's why I've developed this practice. Okay, now you could in some ways say that I'm the most unlikely health guru, or certainly fitness guru, you're likely to meet, because the truth is, like I said in the strengthen video, I've never even had an ab. Okay, so I'm only just beginning to build on those now, and that was exactly what's happened to me in this injury. And the reason it's taken me so long to actually say what it is because I was very confused about what it was, and I haven't actually seen anyone, because there isn't really, very many people out there working at the moment. And so I'm having to self-diagnose. Now, I've only ever experienced this type of pain once before, and that was after seeing a cranial osteopath when I was training in craniosacral therapy. And I'd never had lower back pain ever. I'd always only ever had upper back pain. And she'd taken one look at me, as osteopaths do, standing. And she said, easy, I could sort you out in 3 treatments. Now, I was training in craniosacral therapy. I was already 15 years down my healing journey. I had any number of treatments, and none of them had really had any longevity in working. And so, this woman says she can sort me out in 3 sessions. Please do. On the third session, the woman opened up my lower back, and I was in excruciating pain for about 6 months. I continued to see her, obviously, for most of the rest of that year. And altogether, I believe I had 10 treatments. She would only see you once a month because she believed that treatments worked so dynamically and so deeply. And I could feel it, the treatment, I could feel it working through my body for about 3 weeks. And it would always, in that fourth week, I feel like, yeah, now I need another session because the movement, was so great in between the times. And so I feel that what has happened here now is a similar thing. So for me to come on and just say I've injured myself would be wrong, because I haven't injured myself, and I'm slightly embarrassed, honestly. That's why I think I'm just blabbing so much, is that I came on the end of the program. The idea was for us to do a flow together. I woke up on that last day and I could barely get out of bed. Honestly, I was getting better. And then I had 2 full-on days working with 2 very weakened individuals. I was already in a weakened state. And unfortunately, after both of those days where I would normally process and just kind of shake it out, anything I'd taken on, let it go, compost it down. I've been talking about it for 3 weeks. Come on, I should be doing this by now. I didn't do that in 2 occasions. And so my back, which had started strengthening, I woke up on the Saturday morning with the intention of doing the flow, and I could barely move. So my apologies for that. I then didn't come on. Well, I had 2 days I was in pain. And so I do apologize for that. I have been in excruciating pain. But what I feel happened, because last week, astrologically, was one of the most intense weeks of the year. It's the most intense transit, and it was going on for about 3 days. It's Sun conjunct Saturn. And Saturn, in my experience, whenever there's a strong Saturn transit, it always brings me physical pain. I've had it in my jaw, I've had it in headaches, and this time it's in my lower back. Okay, I've had it in upper back. I've had plenty of neck pain. I've had all sorts of neck injuries, whiplash injuries and things like that in the past. And I think what actually happened was I released something in those days. We also had there was another transit. It was on the Wednesday. That was happening. It was Mars conjunct Uranus, and it was all about potentially unexpected, pushing something too far, unexpected and events happening. And that is exactly what happened to me. I think I pushed a stretch too far, and didn't actually injure the back, released something. And the nature of release is that the blood, this is an area that you've cut off. Okay, you've cut it off, you've cut off the blood supply, you've cut off the oxygen and all the nutrients to that area. You open it, blood then rushes into that area, and suddenly you've got, it's a bit like you've been working out too much, too long and too hard. And the next day you've got lactic acid that just sort of like, edging on the surface of the muscle. Now, we can't do a sauna. We can't do, it's freezing cold outside. There are lots of things against me. Everything's against me right now. But I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. We're going to do that flow together. I'm feeling better and I'm feeling stronger in myself today. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting this program out there, getting it on brand new tube, getting it on BitChute as well, because I've got a feeling the big G is going to shut me down here on YT. So please bear with me. I am there for you. If you've got any questions, I'm really, really happy. Let's get into a dialogue. I'm really, really I'm up for that. And I'm so excited to go on this journey with you. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Come on, let's go. We're starting on Thursday. I think I'm going to be in fit health by then. We're going to start, and I might even just do a short live every day. Join me on Gab. I'm trying to get off the FB. Sick of all this censorship, sick of all the ways that they're trying to shut us down, lock us down, and muzzle us. I got something to say. I'm sure you have too. Let's have a conversation and let's just enjoy. Okay, see you on the other side of this one. Peace out.